Creating Magic with Rotaries, monthly live show that dives into the inspiring world of Rotary service projects. Live stream on Suthichai Live, Mojo Club, and Rotary's channel in 7 Southeast Asia countries. My name is Supan Wiboonma, your moderator. Albert Einstein said, "Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding." Our first episode today is Rotary and Peacebuilding, a legacy of action. And we have a lineup of three guests to share his and her perspective, success stories, and lessons learned, and more. But first, let me introduce to you my co-moderator, Hugo Tan. He's a Rotary Alumni Chair for Rotary District 3300 in Malaysia. Hi, Hugo.
Hi, Supan. Thank you for the very kind introduction. Happy to be here.
Thank you. Would you like to encourage our viewers to be engaged?
Definitely. I think today we have a wonderful show that is awaiting us with three of our expert panelists that's going to join us and share with us not just the journey of peace building, but what does it take to be a peace builder and how you too can be part of this journey. So for those of you who are tuning in and watching this, I would like to encourage all of you to share this link to your friends and family. Join us on this beautiful Sunday evening. Let us participate in this conversation. We look forward to have this interactive session where you can ask your questions. Just type it in the Facebook comments or send to our panels. We'll be more than happy to take your questions.
Beautiful. Who are our three distinguished guests? Hugo.
Right. First and foremost, this individual has served as the past district governor of Rotary District 3300 Malaysia, is the founding member and the director of the National Coalition for Mental Health Wellbeing Malaysia that brings together the mental health organizations in Malaysia under one umbrella. She is also a peace activator for the Institute of Economics and Peace, and for her many contributions, she has been awarded multiple awards from the People of Action Awards from 2024, the Rotary Foundation Citation for Meritorious Service, and has also been recently recognized by the Indian High Commission as one of the 8 outstanding women in 2024. So without further ado, Supan, let's put our hands together and welcome Dato Bindi Rajasegaran.
Our second guest, Ronnie Sodusta from Universal Peace Federation Asia Pacific. Ronnie was also Youth Ambassador for Peace. Let's give a big applause to Ronnie.
Hi, Ronnie. Welcome to the room. Last but not least, Supan, we still have one more amazing lady joining us on this panel. Is a refugee outreach volunteer who work in mental health and volunteerism. And recently, I have the opportunity to meet her and actually seen her share her thoughts on the stage of the ASEAN Peace Builders Conference. So without further ado, please put your hands together for Miss Asiya.
Refugee outreach volunteer. Our first question goes to you, Ronnie. What is your role at Universal Peace Federation Asia Pacific?
Yes, good afternoon. Annyeonghaseyo to all the audience of Creating Magic with Rotary. Greetings from South Korea. I am now in South Korea. And I am the director for youth and students of Universal Peace Federation in Asia Pacific, overlooking 40 countries.
Wow. How many countries?
40. 40.
40. Wow. Yeah. For how long have you been doing this?
I am with the Universal Peace Federation since since its inception on 2015. Yeah, I've been working with different youth and students from different nations Southeast Asia is there, Pacific, including New Zealand, Australia, the many island nations, and also
Wow.
different nations here
That's been about 10 years.
in the service of our young people.
Oh, when you say young people, share a little bit about your Youth Ambassador Peace Award or position, how it
Oh,
started.
that's good. I received it from the International Association of Youth and Students for Peace. It's an international youth organization that is in special consultative status with the UN ECOSOC. They are they are giving this ambassador for peace to the
Mm,
individuals who have positive contribution to the society. You know, if you work for peace, you have positive contribution in different nations, then they are giving this one. We are now having a larger number of ambassadors for peace or youth ambassadors for peace working for the same cause of having sustainable peace in different nations.
wow, wow. Well, let me involve Bindi in telling us or sharing with us Rotary's role in peace building, so that we see the seamless collaboration between Rotary and your organization. Bindi, what is role of Rotary in peace building?
Thank you, Supan, and good afternoon to everyone. Um, Let me just give a brief background of the situation of peace building. Today, over 70 million people are displaced as a result of conflict, violence, persecution, and human rights. And you know, half of these displaced are children. In Rotary, we refuse to accept conflict as a way of life, and we provide training that fosters understanding and provides communities with the skills to resolve conflicts. We
Mm,
create environments of peace.
mm,
And as a humanitarian organization, peace is the cornerstone of our mission because in everything we do, there is an element of peace, whether we are doing service projects, members take action to address the underlying causes of conflict. Now, our commitment to peace building is the answer to how we can achieve a vision of lasting change. Rotary creates environment where peace can happen. Thank you.
wow. Can you share with us an overview of some specific projects or initiatives of Rotary?
Yes, but I will share what we have done in our district. Now, over
Okay.
the past years, we have recommended a number of participants for our Peace Scholar program. This is a very established program sponsored by Rotary International, where we sponsor candidates to do their masters in peace building in 8 universities around the world. And
Around the
this,
world.
yes, right from Norway to Australia, Japan, and a few other countries as well, in US as well. Now, this program is for those who are taking peace building seriously as a career. And most of them, after they finish the program, they go on to work with UN bodies or they set up their own organizations. But
Mm,
essentially, it's in peace building.
mm-hmm.
And a few years ago, we had our first Peace Builders Conference, and that conference was targeted on the subject of refugees in our country, addressing their basic human rights, the right to education, the right to medical benefits, and the right to documentation, which was missing amongst our refugee community.
Mm,
And recently we had our Peace Builders Conference, second Peace Builders Conference, addressing the issue of youth as peace builders.
uh-huh.
Because we believe that to have sustainable peace, we must invest in our youth today, and they have to be exposed to what peace is all about. Thank you.
Sure. Of course. Well, in this case, let us invite Asiya to share her experience as a refugee outreach volunteer.
Thank you so much, Supan.
Yes.
Yeah, so my role as an outreach volunteer for the refugees is basically working with the refugee communities in Malaysia or displaced people in general. So they may be refugees or asylum seekers. And over the course of the 2 years, me, along with other youths, have dedicated numerous hours per month to host awareness sessions, teaching asylum seekers on how the registration process works. Because in Malaysia, we don't have camps for refugees. Yeah, so when asylum seekers arrive, they're quite lost. And then we also host awareness sessions for refugee communities themselves to raise awareness about fraud and corruption, which refugees are quite prone to. And besides that, we also try to bridge the gap between the host communities and the refugee communities by educating the host communities on who refugees are and the difference between refugees, asylum seekers, and stateless people. And we hope that this would lead to like a peaceful living together and also just embracing and accepting one another. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of work. Can you share more with us on stories of resilience, hope, and the strength of human spirit you've encountered as a volunteer?
Um, I have seen so many, but one particular story that I don't mind sharing was of this Yemeni family that fled from Yemen to Malaysia, but not the entire family made
Uh-huh.
it. So the parents and some of the siblings were left behind. And the siblings who made it here, they could
Oh.
not speak English, they could not speak Malay. So there was so many barriers, considering they had already faced a lot back in their country and on the journey here. And then over here, the cultural differences, language barriers, it was just too much. But the young lady, she's actually around my age. She did not give up and she enrolled in a community learning center. So she was old, but she sat with little children and she started learning English. And she didn't mind like being the oldest in her class. And within 1 year, she was not only fluent in English, but she was also interpreting for other families who had language barriers. Another example would be of this single mom who has raised her daughters alone here. And if you're aware, in Malaysia, refugees don't have access to formal education. But this lady, despite all her struggles, she opened a community learning center and she started educating refugee children in her community. And today, there are hundreds of refugees students who are attending that school. So I would say these are just some of
Wow.
the key cases that I believe embodies the hope and adaptability that defines the human spirit in the face of adversity. Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. Back to you, Ronnie. Um, Asiya mentioned about cultural differences and how the refugees deal with it. What would be your suggestion or opinion on delving into cultural aspects of peace building in Southeast Asia on a wider scale?
That's a good point from Asiya. Um, we have to respect culture in the base of achieving sustainable peace. I've been working with youth from the different nations. I've been in Palau. I've been in Papua New Guinea, in Indonesia, and other nations. One thing that I know was that although we have a diverse culture, but we are facing the same problem. For example, we are addressing the problem of unwanted pregnancies and teenage pregnancies in the Philippines. When I go to Palau, when I go to Papua New Guinea, when I go to the other nation, they facing the same problem, but the approach is a bit different because of the cultural aspect. If we are to open our heart, if we are to work from the premise that we are one, we might be divided in terms of the name of our nations, our cultural background, but in the essence, our original essence, we are one. We are one family under heaven. And I hope we can see it that way. And for that manner, culture is very important. It plays a very important in achieving sustainable peace.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Bindi, you mentioned about Rotary's focus on master's degree, as well as running conferences to ensure people meet and come up with a very tangible measures or program or initiatives. Well, are there any other areas Rotary been doing to close the gap of cultural differences in the communities? On a small scale or on the region level?
Yes, in Rotary, we are we volunteer our time and skills, and what we do is whether it's donating walking sticks or to the disabled, or building bathrooms, or creating playing fields for every child, we are investing in communities, and we have a DEI policy, diversity, equity, and inclusion policy, where we do not discriminate
Sure.
anyone in our service to humanity, irrespective of the race, religion, creed, or cultural background. For us, everyone deserves to be served if they have a need in their lives. So we do not discriminate, and we do not take cultural differences into consideration. We treat everyone the same. Thank you.
Wow, wow. Hugo, my co-moderator, what is your affiliation with Rotary Youth Alumni, and have peace issues been dealt with at the early stage among the Rotary youths? Can you share with us on the scale, contents, and geographic areas? How many countries involved?
Definitely, Supan, happy to do so. And pleasure to have you as the co-moderator for today. Well, over the past 10 years, I've been heavily involved in different youth movements. Currently, I'm the alumni chair, which I believe that in any organization, we are not working in silo. We have to engage the greater ecosystem. After all, we are all global citizens. And I love what Ronnie, I've heard his speech. I love what Ronnie has said. You know, it is until we treat every human being as our brothers and sisters, every country as our country, only then we will achieve peace. So for the past 10 years, we have been engaging with the general public and different organizations in nation building to work on projects on peace conferences, on mental health workshops. So we have been involved in the alumni, which covers Malaysia. We have also been working with different Rotary clubs, which is usually the youth population in Rotary, surrounding Southeast Asia. In fact, during the pandemic, where everyone is stuck at home, that is when all the youth came online and band together. You know, we have been having very important conversations in our ASEAN Universality Conference, and we have another one which is the Road to Peace Conference with various countries. We have government officers from Philippines coming in. We have diplomats from Myanmar coming in. And in fact, we have one that is really memorable for myself, which we actually have the atomic bomb survivor from Japan joining one of the conversations. I believe these are super important because for many of us, we are enjoying a relative level of peace. Therefore, it's important for us to be reminded that this quest for peace is never ending. We must have consistent action. Back to you, Supan.
Wow. Sure, thank you. Wow, amazing, impressive. Hugo, can you share with us how Rotary Youth programs empower young people? You've been doing a lot of events, conferences, and you give opportunity to the youth. But how do you actually empower them to become agents of peace?
Well, that's a great question. I think the first step is to actually to educate them because we don't know what we don't know. And a lot of people have this perception of what peace is, but they have no idea how comprehensive and wide this sphere of peace is. So once they realize that, like I would like to again quote Dato Bindi, which is nearly everything that we do in Rotary contributes to peace. Whether you are working on maternal education and children health, whether you're working on water and sanitation, all of these are contributing factors to peace. So first would be the education. Secondly, I think youth are very curious on how exactly they can participate. Would their voices be heard? And I think what is so beautiful is that there are a lot of organizations out there that give this platform for youth to actually have their voices heard. And more important than that, like what we are doing here today, Supan, these are baby steps. But for these live streams to reach 7 to 8 countries on a Sunday evening, this is contributing to peace. And young people should know how to utilize technology, which they are more savvy than any of us, in spreading this message. They should be influencers. Do not wait until you are in a position of power or you are being granted a title to be an ambassador of peace. Every one of us in our family, in our nearest community, in our neighborhood, we should be starting conversations on peace. I think these are some baby steps that we need to look into. Education, platform, and lastly, we need to have proactiveness. Back to you, Supan.
Thank you, thank you. Ronnie, do the empowerment Rotary puts on youths align with what Universal Peace Federation are doing or have been doing, or you personally are doing?
Yes, very much aligned. You know, one thing that I am so grateful with Rotary and Dato Bindi is the sniper of talent. You know, she sniped us all and then put us back together, you know, and then bring these messages, not just to the young people, but to everyone. And, you know, if there is one thing that can achieve what we have to do, it's the Rotary. I feel like what we have is the whole of Rotary approach, the whole of Southeast Asia approach. We have to bring together people from different fields, you know, from track 2 diplomacy, from track 1 diplomacy. Other than that, we have to bridge the gap between the policy maker and those who are actually in the field. You know, like for Asiya, refugee themselves, they should have a seat in the decision making table. They should be one of the knights in the round table. And one thing that I'm so grateful with Rotary, and as I said with Dato Bindi, bringing us all together. You know, she know that all these people is rich in mind, creating, you know, policy can influence elite people. But here we are, workers in the front line who are actually there, and to be able to be invited in here and give our voice representing the marginalized people, you know, the young people who do not have a voice, that itself is a big statement. The whole of Rotary approach, you know, the Rotaract and everyone, if we can bring them in one table and decide on a matter, then I believe we can create not just practical steps, practical strategies, but strategies that most likely apply to all. So thank you so much, Rotary, for inviting us all and bringing us together. You are doing a great steps towards peace.
In Wow, Bindi, a lot of references go to you. Would you like to exchange your opinion?
Yeah, you see, currently I'm focusing a lot on youth as peace builders because the future of tomorrow lies in the hands of youth today. And it is important to recognize the power that our youth of today hold in their hands. For instance, certain countries have lowered their voting age, and that gives the power to the young to decide on the future of our nation. And we hope to instill in them positive peace. Now, peace is just not the absence of conflict. Peace also essentially is understanding peaceful environments and what constitutes positive peace. And that is why I had a very strong interest in doing the Peace Activators course with the Institute of Economics and Peace, because I had a better understanding of what positive peace is about. It's very complex and it's very interesting, and it's a workable solution for peaceful environments. And basically, what we would like to convey the message to youth is to inform them the 8 pillars of positive peace. And these are good governance, sound environment, equitable distribution of resources, acceptance of the rights of others, good relations with neighbors, free flow of information, high levels of human capital, and low levels of corruption. These are the basic 8 pillars of peace that if any organization or government seriously implement it, you're guaranteed for a peaceful future. Back to you, Supan.
Wow, wow. On one hand, you mentioned Rotaries put a lot of emphasis on youth, and you mentioned the 8 pillar of peace. On the other hand, being a 120 years international organization, have there been an issue requiring interfaith dialogue, education, and vocational background among Rotarian or member of Rotary, and how did you deal with it?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. And I would like to use our polio eradication initiative as an example. Now, Rotary has been working to eradicate polio for the past 35 years, and our goal is closer than ever right now. We have reduced
Wow.
polio by 99% since our first project in 1979, and today polio remains endemic only in 2 countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan. Now, why we have not been able to eradicate polio in these 2 countries so far? Because we have been faced by certain cultural and religious issues. And some of these issues have been like illiteracy, socio-economic, cultural, and religious factors, parental refusal to due to misconceptions that vaccines can harm or sterilize children or contain pig derived products, which is forbidden in Islam. And the repeated administration of the vaccine was also cited as a barrier. So, cultural issues such as the presence of all male vaccinators was also another issue. So, to overcome that, they have included women into the vaccinators team, because they are able to, approach mothers more easily than an all male team. So, and due to these misconceptions, our vaccinating teams are at high risk to be attacked, and some have even lost their lives. So, Rotary
Oh.
has addressed this multitude of challenges by engaging with religious people and people of influence in the communities in the far reaching areas in Afghanistan and Pakistan. And a few years ago, Saudi Arabia's enforcement of WHO recommendations with fatwa. Fatwa is a formal Islamic ruling to vaccinate pilgrims undertaking the Hajj, also helped dispel suspicions that the polio eradication campaign is a negative thing for them. So this strategy was also applied in Pakistan, where prominent Islamic leaders also issued a ruling endorsing the polio vaccination campaign. So that is small steps, but huge accomplishments in the effort to eradicate polio in these 2 countries.
I
Back to
see.
you.
So you're still facing these challenges?
Yes, there are the challenges. Challenges will always be there, but we are resolving to go forward. Nothing will stop us. That is our firm belief that polio will be eradicated, And unless we continue on this journey to eradicate polio completely, 10 years' time, if we don't eradicate in 10 years' time, it is said that around 200,000 children yearly will be affected by polio and will be paralyzed for life. So we have no choice. It is the future of our youth and the children of the world. And no country is safe unless polio is completely eradicated because of the importation by human movement around the world. The virus can go anywhere.
Wow. Uh, wow. Asiya, when we mention a lot of efforts been put to any program, there are also on the other side the more challenges. Can you share with us how refugees foster peaceful coexistence in their host country?
Thank you, Supan. So, refugees definitely play a vital role in creating this peaceful coexistence. One significant way to do is to have more cultural programs so that you can exchange cultures. And another way is when refugees and host communities actually, when they literally just host each other and share cuisines with one another and talk about their weaknesses together. It's like Ronnie mentioned, at the end of the day, we're all humans. We're under the same
Mm,
sky, and we're not that different from each other when we start sharing stories and listening to one another. And I like what Dato Bindi shared as well about that inclusiveness. Like attending that ASEAN Peace Building conference, I witnessed global citizenship in real life, like people from different parts of the world gathering, and just this peaceful way of understanding and tackling issues together. Another way refugees can contribute is obviously some refugees are actually very talented and they're experienced and skills. So if their skills are utilized in their host countries, that would benefit the host countries a lot. In Malaysia, there are a lot of refugees who are actually nurses, medical doctors, entrepreneurs. Yeah, so imagine if they get that opportunity to legally work and contribute back to the economy. It's not just peaceful, but it's also literally rich economy after you give them these rights. So I would say these are just some examples. Another example would be remember when the MCO was announced in Malaysia, the Movement Control Order. So during that time is when humanity also started showing itself. So it didn't matter if your neighbor was refugee or not. If you were sick, even if you were a local and you couldn't cook food for yourself and you were under quarantine, the neighbor, even if he or she was a refugee, you would accept food from them and they cared for you and you watched out for one another regardless of your
I
background,
see.
religion, culture, all that. Yeah. So there are many
Yeah.
ways we can build inclusive, peaceful societies and coexist.
Uh, Beside food, what would be your humble advice to young people so that they can contribute to peace building efforts that benefit refugees?
Yes. Um, I think the most important thing, and I think Dato Bindi also focuses on this, is to include youths in all these initiatives and for youths to actually step out of their comfort zone, step out of their bubbles, also, which Ronnie mentioned as well. Because unless you've stepped out of that comfort zone, you're not going to enter your growth zone. So it's very important that you step out and actively get involved with humanitarian organizations and contribute. You will see in many ways initially, like youths are actually, some youths are afraid. They don't feel like they're good enough, they're equipped enough. I remember when I attended the ASEAN Peace Building Conference, I felt like I was not in the right place because everyone was so good at talking and then they were doing projects and their presentations. But Dato Bindi was so supportive. Like, I know how to work on the ground, but how to like bring that message to the world, that was a bit difficult for me. But then Dato Bindi and Rotary like helped me with that. So as scary as it is, including youths in these initiatives and encouraging them that they have influence in all this is one of the most important ways. And I'm very proud of Rotary for doing that.
Wow, wow. Referring to you, Rotary, I need to invite Hugo to share with us whether or not there are specific youth led peace building projects or initiatives from Rotary Youth Alumni Network in Southeast Asia, which support what Asiya talked about. Did you get me? Can you share with us specific youth-led peace building projects or initiatives from the Rotary Youth Alumni Network in Southeast Asia Pacific, which support or answer what Asiya mentioned?
I think, oh,
Maybe there's something wrong with the connection.
yeah.
Bindi, you want to say something.
No, I think Hugo was frozen for a moment just now. Hugo, are you able to continue?
All right,
I
maybe
think
he's having problem with the internet. But as far as you know, Bindi, are you able to share some of the initiatives Rotary youths are doing?
Well, we have the youth movement called Rotaractors, and we have quite a number of Rotaractors in our district. Has it is all around the world. Now they are the younger adults, and we have two kind of clubs. One is a community-based club, and one is a university-based club. So, and our road track movement in Malaysia, I must say, are doing extremely well. They are very energetic, exciting, young lot. And these are the young adults that Rotary is nurturing to become successful adults and to be successful in their careers and in their family and so on and in their lives. And I had the opportunity to work with Rotrack when I was a governor, and I must say their ideas are amazing, very, very refreshing. They are full of talent, and their ideas are amazing. They do a lot of projects. They are very, very independent. Rotary clubs sponsor the Rotrack clubs, but we are only there in the background where we need their help. I mean, sorry, where when they need our help. But more often than not, we need their help. A lot of Rotary clubs I see engage Rotaractors to come and help them with the projects, get involved with the Rotary projects, and even make them speakers for their events. So it is very nice to see the youth evolving and being independent and carrying out all these projects. Thank
Great,
you.
great. Thank you. Ronnie, I'm not sure about the scope of impacts Rotary and a lot of nonprofit organizations have been doing to promote peace. Can you share with us some because a lot of people or some people believe that achieving peace is solely the responsibility of statesmen. What's your take on this, and how can we change the mindset to create a more inclusive approach of peace building from your point of view?
Wow, a very good question. Thank you so much, Pisupan. It's it's how to express that one. Perhaps to answer this question, I can show some photos or some videos
Sure.
to our audiences. Would that be fine?
Wow, we would love to look at them. Uh,
Okay. Yep. So let me talk
wow.
about the importance of culture and peace. Peace
Mm.
starts with you or with youth. That one. Next slide, please. The most serious social problems are youth problems and family problems. Let me share to you what we are doing in Universal Peace Federation and YSP. This is one of our brand projects we call Pure Love. It addresses teenage pregnancy. Especially in my country, the Philippines, teenage pregnancy is a matter of national social emergency. According to statistics, 33 billion pesos, about 100 million dollars is the government lost this amount of money every year because of teenage pregnancy. And then according to Dr. Robert Esquitel, the ultimate goal of character education is to prepare our children to become good parents. You know, not just the teenage pregnancy, but we are now facing a generation of unprepared parents having unwanted pregnancies. As a result, our children is suffering from, this kind of thing. How do we address this? We're having international youth assemblies. We have our seminars that addressing about pure love education. In Thailand, we went there in the different schools and then we give this education to different high schools and university. In Indonesia, we were there. In Cambodia, we educate them. Sri Lanka as well. In Nepal, we work with 434 school and colleges so that we can bring this and have a draft committee meeting about the nation building character. This one, let me forward. In the Philippines, this is what we are doing. We are gathering people and we are rallying in the street. But it's not like, oh, these people, oh, no, it's not like that. What we are rallying was that I'm proud to be virgin, like this one. I choose my dream more than my pleasure, this kind of placards. We are empowering, the energy of young people is overwhelming, especially when you let them understand an advocacy. When they embrace an advocacy, their energy is overflowing. And we did this in the Philippines. We are educating them like this one. Think and think before you unzip. This kind of thinking we are sharing to the people. And then this one, choose your dream over a moment of pleasure. You fulfill your dream first. When you are ready, you can taste that one, every hour, every minute, but please be ready. Become a responsible parent like this one. And then lastly, we tell them, know the difference between enjoying your youth and destroying your future. In this way, we are educating our young people. In the Philippines, we have a Pure Love Model School, the Sunwa International Academy, that zero case teenage pregnancy since its founding in 2002. It is because we have this Pure Love seminar that we are doing on a regular basis here, educating children. This one is in PNG. We are empowering young people, their voices, through this peace designers training. This one, they share to us those voices. And sorry, let me move forward because we do not have much time. And then next, I'll be sharing is our work with Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, we have the religious youth service. We are working with youth of different religion, bringing them together, do service project, and educating them. And this works in the ground. We are sharing it. I myself, I met the former president of the Philippines, Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, and share all these advocacies and what we are doing in the front line, in the actual field. I met with the different ambassadors. I've been in Istiklal, the biggest mosque in Indonesia, and then share our advocacy, and they listen. It doesn't matter whether you are Christian, you are, Muslim, or from different backgrounds or religion. We are open. And I'm so happy we have the Rotary to embrace us and help us bring this one. I myself is own beneficiary. I came from the slum area in the Philippines. I should be here. I was so shy. I live a life that has no purpose. But because of the NGO like Rotary, I found my advocacy, I found my purpose, and now I represent those people who were like me back those days. So thank you so much. And I hope, that we can embrace more organizations, just like what Rotary is doing, to bring people together and help us solve our problem. We are
Great.
common people with common problem. Thank you so much and
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Thank you. So, as a common people, what can we each do to contribute to peace promotion in our community, in our school, university, or in our province or country? What more can we do that, Ronnie? Because you've been in working with 40 countries.
That's good. Um, our organization, we have this peace designers training. We are training our young people to find a one problem in their society and use their talent and their ability to come up with a solution in that problem. And then, they presented it. And I've been in PNG, I've been in Palau. Those are small island nations in Oceania. And you know what I found out? Everyone was so hungry with the opportunity to share. They have the
Opportunity.
solution, they have the idea. If you give them the platform, if you help them find their confidence, they can do more. And what Rotary was doing is an example of embracing and inviting people. Sometimes what they need is an invitation. And just how you invite me today, please invite also those people whom they thought they are not confident, they thought they do not have someone with them. But you know what? Rotary is with us. Together, let's talk. Together, let's find solution. Together, let's do the action. So young
Wow,
people
that's
who are listening to the Creating Magic Rotary, you have a place in Rotary. You have a place in Rotaract. Thank
thank
you.
you. That's beautiful. This leaves us to a closing segment. Now, I would like to ask each speaker to please leave with us one key takeaway and or a final thought or message on the importance of peace building. May I start first with Dato Bindi?
Yes, thank you so much, Supan. This has been a very interesting afternoon. I would like just to share the message that Rotarians, we are people of action, and we use our passion, our energy, and our vocation and take action to make a difference in the world, in communities, and in ourselves. And I would like to appeal to everyone out there, be part of an organization where you can make a difference. You are needed. Don't turn away from communities that need you to help them. So, and Rotary is a wonderful platform just to do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Asiya.
Yeah, I would like to leave a very short message as well. I feel like I believe Tato Bindi summarized everything. But again, follow the principle and act on that principle of leaving no one behind. Yeah, be inclusive of everyone.
Leaving no one behind. Thank you. Ronnie, one key takeaway or final thought or message you would like to leave on the importance of peace building.
We are all part of the puzzle. No matter what you think, how insignificant you are, without you, the puzzle is not complete. You are needed in the cause of peace. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Seems like we lost Hugo. Maybe there's something wrong with the internet. It's okay. Thank you, Bindi. Thank you, Ronnie, Asiya, and Hugo, my coordinator. Thank you all too for watching. We welcome comments or questions on all social media channels, and we'll try our best to get back to you. In order not to miss the future episodes, may I invite all of you to click like and share on the page you're watching from. Uh, and since we run out of time, may I close with one quote from Suthichai Yoon. World has changed. Watch us at any time, from anywhere, and on any device. Until we meet again, we say goodbye together, but we will say farewell with a short video clip our production team will play. But before the video, let's say goodbye to each other. Thank you. Goodbye. I say goodbye in Thai way. Bye bye. May I see the